Good morning, students. Welcome to our YouTube channel, Hotron Skill Center near Fountain, Chowk, Yamuna. Our center code is 034. I'm Ankit Sharma. Students, we were discussing about mobile phone security. So, our today's lecture will be on buffer overflow. So, I'm writing the topic here, buffer overflow. So, what is overflow? One of the most popular and common bugs that can crash a system and make it hang is the popular buffer overflow. Okay, so any kind of bug which is most popular, which could crash a system or make it hang, is buffer overflow. So this type of vulnerabilities can be found in all the kinds of applications or operating systems, client server applications, and desktop GUI applications. Or it can be found even in simple CLI programs also. So security analysts and professionals must get to know about the reason behind its existence and how the bug can be reduced in your system. So in this lecture, we'll be discussing about the complete understanding why buffer overflow occurs and how to save these applications. Okay, so buffer overflow, what is buffer? What is buffer? A buffer is a memory location that holds data for a temporary period and it waits to transfer it to another location, like we are sharing or we are transferring any kind of data into another location. So it is a memory location that holds data for temporary period and waits to transfer it to another location. It is located in RAM, random access memory, of your computer. So for preventing your systems from data congestion, this concept came into existence. So buffer is not directly, we may say, bug. Buffer is a data kind of memory location. Okay. So next is, what is buffer overflow? Buffer overflow is a situation where an application or program tries to write data outside the memory or beyond the buffer size and is not determined to store those data. Like we have data which is overflowing. So buffer overflow is a kind of situation when too much data came into memory location or too much data came into an application. It overflows. A situation comes where program tries to write data outside the memory location or beyond the size of the buffer. Buffer is memory location, so beyond the size of memory location sizes, which is not determined to store those data, it leads to buffer overrun or buffer overflow, which what it do, which ultimately crashes your systems or your temporary or it temporarily holds for some time. One typical example of buffer overflow is the entering of excessive data that is beyond the limit of the memory flow or the memory location buffer. This is called buffer overflow when overflow of any kind of data or information in any application or your system comes, then it stores your data outside that location. It is called buffer overflow. Our next topic will be what happens when the buffer overflow takes place. Question is, what happens when the buffer overflow takes place? As the memory buffer overflow takes place and data gets written out of the allocated memory areas, when the memory buffer overflow takes place, that kind of data which you are being storing or which you are being overflowed outside the memory location is allocated outside the memory area. The program that is running usually goes rightly. Sometimes it gets crashed or returns you corrupt data. Okay. Another issue that happens in parallel is when you override the data to some non-buffer area, the critical informations of the area get overwritten again and again, and previously stored essentials get lost. This overflowing bug can also run unwanted or malicious programs, which can affect your uninformed code execution and let cyber criminals harm your computer. So this happens when the buffer overflow takes place. And next comes is technicalities of occurring buffer overflow. Technicalities of occurring buffer overflow. Boundary checking is not done appropriately, or in most cases they get skipped entirely. Application built in old programming languages. These are the technicalities. Why do buffer flow overflow occurs? Why it occurs? The first one is boundary checking is not done appropriately, or in most cases they get skipped entirely. The next comes is application built in old programming languages such as Fortran, C, etc. have such errors in them. Next comes is applications that are prone to buffer overflow are not set with proper filtering and validation criteria. The two most important reasons why buffer overflow occurs. Two most important reasons for this buffer overflow occurs. Okay. The first one is when there is lack of boundary testing in the applications as done by the programmer or tester. The next comes is when a system can execute a code that resides in the stack segment. These are the two most important reasons for which buffer overflow occurs. Next comes is how to prevent buffer overflow. So input validations need to be set in an appropriate way toward this buffer overflow. The first point comes input validations. You are giving any kind of inputs in your systems or application. So you need to set an appropriate way to set that. The next comes is programmers need to test the code with additional values that will exceed the buffer size and check those applications before launching. Next comes boundary checks and boundary testing need to be performed by the tester to check the upper and lower limit of that temporary storage. So these are the methods how will you prevent your data or your memory locations to get inside or to get rid of that bug. So we have gone through what is buffer, after that what is buffer overflow. After that we read about what happens when the buffer overflow takes place. Okay. Next comes technicalities of occurring buffer overflow. Then two most important reasons for which buffer overflow occurs. And the last one was how to prevent buffer overflow. Our next topic will be on cryptography. Modern encryption means sending encryption and decryption are two parts in cryptography, which we'll be going through in tomorrow's lecture. So our tomorrow's lecture will be on modern encryption or cryptography, in which we'll be learning about types of modern cryptography, symmetric, asymmetric cryptographies or encryptions. Okay. So after that, data leak prevention, SPAT systems, and the last topic of this lectures of the cyber security will be cyber forensics and incident handling. So only 4 lectures are remaining. We'll be completing it as soon as possible. Okay, students, thank you.